Right now in India, we have around 101 real-time air quality monitoring system. So what is this air quality monitoring system? Now, you might have seen, if you are in any of these metropolitan cities like Bangalore or Mumbai or Chennai, there you would have seen in your own place, you would have seen in certain areas there would be a electronic or an electrical billboard kind of a thing, which would actually indicate the concentration or the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, the level of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere, the level of particulate matter 2.5, particulate matter 10, so on and so forth. Now that will give a real time monitoring, real time. In that instant, what is the level of carbon dioxide? These things will be displayed on those board. Okay, and there will be a system which actually try to understand what exactly is the level of these compounds in the air, and then particularly put them in a billboard kind of a thing. Okay, now there are only 101 in the whole country, only 101 real-time air quality monitoring system. But however, as per one of the analysis, we need around 4,000 air quality monitoring systems. So the next job of NACP is to be installing more than 4,000 or at least equal to 4,000 air quality monitoring systems. And there are other proposals by National Clean Air Program. Now what are these other proposals? First one, they want to push e-mobility, especially in the two-wheeler sector. What is e-mobility? E-mobility matlab to use electrical vehicles, electrical two-wheelers especially. Now I want to just digress from this very topic, and I want to just share one of my experience. A week back I participated in a conclave of future of e-mobility in India. Now in that conclave I was I had an opportunity to meet many engineers and many executive managers of most of the electrical vehicle companies. I don't want to name the names of the company here, but I did meet them, and I got some of the clarity regarding electrical vehicle in India and how ready are we to use electrical vehicles in India. To my surprise, I just found out that the companies are ready with their products. The companies are real ready with their products, but however, we lack basic infrastructure in our cities. What do you mean by basic infrastructure? Now you have a petrol vehicle, right? A car or a bike. Now every time you want to refuel them, you go to a petrol station, a gas station, and then you refuel it. Right. Now what if you are using an electrical vehicle and you run out of the charge? In that case, where will you recharge it? Right. So we don't have many of the recharge centers in many of the cities in India. That's the first challenge. Second challenge, even if we have recharge centers, the recharging technology right now, what we do have actually takes much of the time to recharge a particular battery. So this is the second challenge. If you are owning a petrol bike, you just ride your petrol bike to the gas station. Within 5 minutes, you will refuel your bike and then you proceed further. But if you have electrical vehicle, then you have to leave that vehicle a day before so that it is charged overnight, and then your battery is ready to be used. So this is the second challenge. Nobody has time these days, right? So this is the second. The next challenge what we do have is regarding the battery technology. Right now, lithium ion battery is what used in most of the electrical vehicles. Okay, now lithium ion is, yes, anywhere better than the acid based battery which were used before. Right, so lithium ion is anywhere better than them, but however it is not sufficient. It doesn't suffice the very situation right now. Okay, so the next technology will be based on on an element called as graphene. Graphene is based out of carbon. Okay, so based on graphene, new kinds of batteries are yet to enter the market. The research and development on graphene is not yet over. So once the graphene is in the place, then the amount of space consumed by these lithium ion will be very much less, because now we'll be using graphene batteries instead of lithium ion, and also the charging capacity will be multiplied. Okay, this will actually reduce the time also and make the usage of electrical vehicles better than the petrol vehicles. Okay, so I think we have to wait still some more time to really see some good difference in the e-mobility sector. Okay, so the next proposal of NACP is to boost public transportation, right? It wants people to use more of your buses and other public transportation. We often see one single person driving a whole, in a car. He'll be the only person in the car, right? And he would have, taken almost the quarter of the road, in his very driving. So I think that should be avoided, and we should actually encourage more of carpooling or perhaps more of public transportation. Strict implementation of BS6 norms. What is BS6? BS stands for Bharat Stage 6 norms. Bharat Stage 6 is the next standard of fuels and the corresponding engine which is compatible with the fuel which needs to be used. Now this will minimize the release of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and also sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere. This targets mainly the sulfur dioxide, guys. Alright. Now this Bharat Stage 6 is very much equivalent to Euro, Euro 6 norms, which is actually considered as one of the best norms in the whole world. Okay, so this is one of the proposals of NACP. The next one is to have an extensive plantation plan. This means to grow as many trees as possible, especially in the urban centers. Now we do hear this term urban forestry quite a lot. Now, urban forestry is a clear example wherein the government is actually inspiring and asking people to grow as many trees and as many plants as possible, the one who are especially living in the urban centers. Okay, now this can be done via, let's say by having more number of parks, more number of gardens, or maybe asking people to grow plants in the backyard of their houses. So these are some of the ways in which we can promote the plantations in the urban sectors, especially the tier 1 and tier 2 cities which have actually reached an alarming level of pollution. Okay, so it becomes quite important for us to contain this. So the next proposal of NACP is to come up with some more cleaner technologies. Cleaner technologies like the one which can suck out the excess of sulfur dioxide or carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and maybe convert into a more productive thing. That can be one of the technologies. So on those lines, even the government and even the institutions, educational institutions and research institutions are putting their focus so that they can come up with some good clean technologies which can perhaps reverse this very damage which we have done to the atmosphere. The next proposal by NACP is to plan arterial roads quite well. Now what are these arterial roads? Arterial roads are those roads which carry huge amount of traffic or vehicles. Now these roads are mainly or usually those which connect residential areas to the industrial areas. Okay, residential areas to the industrial areas. So this very means of communication or transportation has to be taken care. If not, then this will also add to the air pollution. So this is one of the targeted areas of NACP. And the next and the important proposal of NACP is to have a third party auditing of all the industries. Now these days these industries are actually audited by the government departments, but we do know that the corruption and bribing do prevail in government departments which lead to improper auditing. But when the auditing is done by the third party and then it is monitored by the government, then we can expect some kind of accountability and some kind of seriousness in the very process. So today we did learn what exactly is this committee of NACP, what is NACP, why do we need NACP, and what are the proposals of NACP. Okay, take care, bye.